Hey guys, Hookednoob here. Yes, you are seeing right. I had a perfect day in Legends League, and we're going to go through some of the replays today. And yes, I can prove it is my account, as you can see there. So we're going to go through all 8 replays, and hopefully you learn a thing or two. Okay, so attack 1 of the day, always a little bit of pressure on, but let's see if we can handle it. Now, as you can tell, this is an anti-3. Anti-3 is one of the toughest bases for Blizz Lalo because there's just not really a lot of value on the base, and there's generally a core multi like this to make your Lalo hard. So what do I do with the Blizzard? Well, the most important thing with a Blizzard is to get the CC pull. So I'm just going into the compartment where I can get a CC pull and plenty of other value. And as you can tell, in this compartment, we can get a CC pull. We can get this multi. I did want to get the Queen as well, but unfortunately, I kind of give up on getting her here because it's just impossible. My Super Wizards are spreading everywhere, so we'd much rather save that invis. So we use the King down the bottom here. And essentially, we're just going to use King and Queen just to get the Town Hall. Now, in a perfect world, I'd only use my Queen here. But as you can tell, that enemy King is up, and you don't really want your Queen fighting an enemy King. So I have to use my King with this Sui, even though I'd really rather not. And as you can tell there, so at this moment, whilst nothing's happening with your Sui, you kind of want to be planning out what you're going to do with the Lalo if you haven't already. Now, I already kind of had already, but whilst I'm just putting a Headhunter down to take out the enemy King, let's evaluate the options. This sweeper's facing this way, so we really, as much as it is nice to get through these 2 scatters quickly, much rather get through the eagle, not really have to fight the sweeper as much, and kind of have nicer pathing to the core. We use an invis on my King and the Queen, whilst the King's dealing with the Town Hall, just so that the King gets through the Town Hall easily, and now we Lalo. Now, you always have to be careful of the eagle, because as you can tell, these hounds are inside the dead zone of the eagle artillery. So the eagle always targets balloons first. That's why it's always worth putting a haste down immediately so that your loons can get to the eagle quickly. Now, as you can tell, I've actually brought my champ with the Lalo here because, I mean, there was no real good place to use it with the Sui, and a champ with the Lalo is extremely powerful. Now, unfortunately, all my loons going to the core have died. We popped the Warden really early here to get the Headhunters across the base. But as you can tell, it is a rough sort of back end, but we've just got way too many balloons up. And when the RC comes with the Lalo and you Warden early to keep her ability alive, she's so strong on the back end of the base. Loons can kind of filter out when it comes to like back end multis or scatters or wizard towers or Tesla farms, but the RC just chews through them. She doesn't chew through the Grand Warden though, and my Warden dies to a Seeking Air Mine in true Warden fashion. But this one worked out. Anti-3s genuinely are not easy at all, so I would not expect you to triple them. I don't even expect myself to triple them, but it absolutely worked on this base. Okay, so this is a box base, but it is a different style of box base. It's kind of been flipped. Now all the heroes are by the Town Hall. But this is a good thing if you're doing Blizzard Lalo, because for me it's really simple. Just land a Blizz in this compartment and get the Town Hall and try and get as many of those heroes as possible. Now, you don't get a CC pull, but like getting Town Hall and a bunch of heroes, yeah, it's like you don't get a CC pull, which is frustrating, but we get so much value from this. So unfortunately, we kind of mess up our invis here. I could have been so much better with it because I am trying to get this Queen, but as you can tell, she's being a little mean to us, and that invis there is really bad. That one should have been better. This last one's much nicer. And we nearly get the champion here. Not quite, but we get really close. Now, the reason I sent a Hound at the start, not only because it tanked for the blimp, but also we pulled the Headhunters out of the CC. Now, at this stage, I know it's a Hound or a Hound CC, because otherwise we would have pulled more than just the Headhunters. So that's kind of unfortunate for our Sui here. Because we're going to have to fight a Hound, but with the knowledge of that, it makes it much easier for me. So what I'm trying to do, I want the King and Queen to go in here, and I just want to get this scatter shot. If I can get like the Eagle and the multi, that's huge, but I just want the King and Queen to go in and try and get that core scatter. Now, unfortunately, Tesla's appear, and my champ kind of gets wrecked here, so she really does not get much value. We pop her ability here. Her ability goes to the center, and she actually doesn't take down any buildings, so it's kind of wasted on that. But look at this. The Hound goes straight to my King, and this is amazing for us. This is actually amazing because now my queen's chilling in the core and the hound's nowhere to be seen. The Teslas pop on the top side, exactly where we want it. Now I mess up here. I thought this was a multi-inferno, so you could imagine my surprise when the eagle doesn't go down after I'd used that freeze. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. This is a tough Lalo with that eagle up. And it's kind of unfortunate. I popped my warden early because these loons going through the core are taking a lot of damage. My hound isn't really taking any. The freeze comes in a little late there for the eagle shots, and I start panicking at the moment. This Lalo has not been that clean. We freeze the scatter once more, but yet again, nothing's pathing to the scatter. The hound has just popped on the top side. We put an invis. We put a poison spell, but it's not doing a whole lot. Headhunter comes to help out though, because we've already taken out all the heroes, remember? And the scatter shot's literally the last defense that goes down. But thankfully, there's just so many balloons up, and they're all spread throughout the base. Wow, my voice just went. But that's why you spread your loons out. Try not to get them to clump on one tile, otherwise the scatter shot will have a field day with you. But unfortunately for this base, just couldn't take out all my balloons. That Blizz and the Sui just got way too much value, and we get another 40 cups. A good old-fashioned ring base. In fact, this is actually a new ring base that you see in the meta here. Now, this ring base has two variants. On this variant, where you have air defenses by the eagle, always land it in this eagle compartment. It's so strong. Just make sure you land it to the right of the air defense, so you pull that giant bomb like I did there. Because you'd much rather pull it early than late. We've got our Super Wiz come out, and they're most part full health. I think one of our Super Wizards took damage from the giant bomb, but that's fine. We've still got 3 of them alive here, and look at this value we get. Like, it doesn't look insane because we haven't gotten the Town Hall, but we've got a CC pull, we've killed the Headhunters, we've gotten the Eagle, 2 multis, and we've got a really nice path here. Because what we're going to do, we put the Baby Dragon. I just want the Baby Dragon to get these 2 buildings. Queen's dealing with the Hound at the top, by the way, and a minion on the left side. I can zoom out so you see all that. But as you can tell, we've got a nicest path. We're going to walk the Queen down here because there's no way she can go right. There's no open wall and no buildings to the right. So we're going to walk her down here. Then the King and the Yak are going to go through this wall here. Then we're going to wall break on this Wizard Tower and wall break right there. And we're into the core. So Yak beats through the wall. The King's an idiot, but he'll eventually do something. We get that wall break on the Wizard Tower. Nicely done. And then RC and Wizard on the left side. Unfortunately, the Mortar targets my Wizard for some reason. So that actually kind of hurts us here, but I just put a minion behind on that army camp. And as you can tell, if I pop my Royal Champ ability... unfortunately, I had to pop it one building too early. She's created a nice funnel, but as you can tell, all that damage on the top side has been taken out by the Blizzard, and my Queen's just chilling at the moment. King's done a great job. Now, we've hung on to one invis. We invis the Skellies, pop the Queen, and that Town Hall is gone down, and we can just Lalo from the top side here. Now, yes, we are Laloing into the kind of the remaining sweeper, but it just kind of made more sense for me to come from this way, because otherwise, coming from this bottom side, it's kind of awkward. But honestly, you could have come from both ways here. And all this is about now is getting my Headhunters and my Loons in the Warden ability and making sure some of them go to the core scatter. They try their best to miss it, but we've still got way too many freezes. I haven't used a single one yet. That's my first 2 used. We freeze the scatter again. The multi hurts, but how much can it hurt? 25 balloons. And this is pretty crushed. Now, on the variation of this base... there's another variation where this air defense that was here is a bomb tower. Just land the blimp right here and do the same Sui. It's just the Lalo is more difficult because the Eagle is still up. But, I mean, you saw how much we crushed it here. Even if the Eagle is up, that wouldn't have made a difference. So, GG's to us. Let's come into the next attack. Okay, so this is another ring base. This was a pretty common ring base last season, so maybe you recognize it. Thankfully, I've had Rakira's hit this on the channel before, and he did this exact plan. So as per usual, I'm not trying to blizz the Town Hall. Now, I know a lot of you at home don't like doing these Suis because they're so risky to try and Sui the Town Hall, and it's not easy to do, and it takes a lot of practice, I can tell you that for sure. But blizzing the Town Hall on this base is just super risky, because look at all the room for giant bombs and the double sweeper, and the NATO could be anywhere. So I just go for this Blizzard value, and look at that. Let's just pause this for a second, just to understand how much Blizz value I've got. Firstly, look at the path we've created. We've gotten rid of so much on the left side of the town hall here. So if we come into the town hall like this, there's nothing that can pull our queen away from the town hall on the left-hand side. We've killed the RC. We've killed the king, and that king can be really annoying for Sui's in the court. And we've killed the CC. The only hero up is the queen, and if you have a look at her health, she's already lost half of it. So, yes, we didn't get the town hall with this Blizzard, which may seem like we didn't get much value, but honestly, this is more value than the town hall in my opinion when it comes to Blizz Lalo. Getting down heroes, CC, and a huge funnel, yes, please. Now it's all about setting up the funnel. So I need my king. We've only got 2 wall breakers, so I recognize I need my king to beat through this wall, and then we can wall breaker this wall and this wall. We use 1 invis on our queen there. We've still got 1 left. Just to get that, I think the scatter shot was on my queen, or there was a cannon and archer tower. So absolutely worth it. And then now we use the RC from the right-hand side with the baby drag and wizard behind. And essentially we're just trying to cut the funnel so that the king has to go into the core. Unfortunately, I think I mess it up. No, the king beats through the wall, which is perfect. Look at that. We now have 2 different wall breaks, so the queen cannot miss it. Now, unfortunately, my champ was probably slightly early because I want her to get that multi there. Because then my queen goes straight to the town hall. But we've still got an invis here, so I just use it now. I'm just trying to see what my queen targets. If she targeted the eagle, then I'd wait on my queen ability, but we just pop her now. And look at that, she gets the eagle as well. And that, it looks a little difficult, but I think that was a fairly straightforward Sui to understand. And now the Lalo's coming in. And now it's just about getting as many troops in my ability as possible and the headhunters. Headhunters fly across the map with the haste, take out the queen super quickly. Now, we actually missed this first airbow here. It was a really bad deployment on the Lalo by me. So, because I've only got 1 loon left, I kind of just have to accept that that airbow is going to stay up. But I start putting all my cleanup minions that I've got left on this sort of, on the top side here. Because this is where the cleanup needs to be done. Because all my loons are going to backtrack for this air defense and clean up these 2 storages as well. So the cleanup needs to be done on the top side. But we had so much time left on this one. When you don't have to fight the CC, it saves you a world of time. And we come away with another 40 cups on a pretty ugly ring base. Okay, so this is a teaser base. Now, teaser bases are a bit hit and miss for Blizz Lalo. Some of them can be fun, some cannot. I wanted to get that mortar down, but unfortunately not. We're just going to blimp right in here. As long as we land the blimp like there, it's going to look a little shaky. I actually thought my Super Wiz were dead here for a second, but thankfully they're not. And I'm just trying to get these 2 air bows and the town hall down. Now, I wanted a CC pull as well, but we don't get it. And you're going to see how important that is, because now, obviously, where we want to Sui is kind of into one of these scattershot compartments, which is exactly what I do. And if we'd pulled the CC, I could deal with it at the bottom of the base and then go in with King Queen. And I probably would have gone in with the Ground Warden, because as you can tell, we can get rid of literally most of the base here with the Ground Warden. But because there's a chance of a Hound being in the CC, I'd much rather just save my Warden for the Lalo. Now, we freeze the Super Minions and poison the Headhunters. Maybe not the best combination. I still haven't decided on that yet. I definitely should have done it the other way though. But yeah, RC on the top side. I just wanted to get rid of this multi here, because this multi is going to be a pain for the Lalo. I know some of the time today I've used my RC with the Lalo, some of the time I haven't. I just didn't want to on this one because I felt like I needed to thin out the pathing a bit more than I already had. And look at what the RC does. Look at how thin the Lalo is. Now, we could have Lalo'd with the champ, but it just would have been much wider at the start, whereas now it's a bit more concise. We've still got the invis, and I'm just watching my queen here. And I'm trying to get her to take out the enemy queen, but unfortunately, the enemy queen doesn't shoot, and we don't get this the enemy hero down. So a little unfortunate. Now, my Lalo sucks here. I hasted the initial group of loons, and now everything's going to the outside because the sweeper says it should be. So thankfully, we still got these headhunters to come get the enemy queen. I freeze the enemy queen once, and I freeze her twice, because if she goes down, I'm confident I get the triple here. Even with this back-end scatter shot, like, look how many balloons I have up. It's crazy. Yet again, we don't get the scatter down with that set, but this haste still comes in handy, and we land it there, and we've just got so many balloons up. It's just really hard at Town Hall 14 to kill this many balloons if you don't have any multis and don't have 2 scatters or an eagle to help out. And yeah, this is just clean up at this stage. And that was kind of a nice hit. But if I'd pulled the CC there, I probably would have gone with the ground warden, just so, because we could have eradicated the entire core of the base. But save the warden for the Lalo if you don't pull the CC. This base. This is a really common base. I reckon throughout Legends. Let me know if you recognize it. Now, I mess up here. I forgot to freeze the sweeper. I was meant to freeze the sweeper the first time, but I forgot. And look at what I do. I'm trying to get the blimp in the core, but we actually mess up. So even though I had a 320 day, doesn't mean I didn't make any mistakes. Fortunately, we are all human. Now, I do pull some of the CC, but there's no way that's all of it. We get 1 scatter. I could have used another invis here, but I just decided I didn't think it was worth it. Because I didn't know what I was just getting the king down. The king's nice, but is he worth an invis? No, not really, because we've got to do a big sui now. Because normally, with the Blizzard, I land it right here, and I get this scatter, I kill the CC, kill this Inferno. Sometimes I get the other scatter, sometimes I don't. But, like, gutting the core on these diamond bases is huge. But let's see what we can do here. So we start off with the king and a freeze, and his job is to get the multi-compartment. Now my RC's job is to get this ground bow. Unfortunately, she always seems to follow the king on this base, and it drives me mad. I haven't had her yet path to that ground bow, so she does actually eventually go there, though, this time. Then we use the sneaky gobs, and a wizard, I think it was. No, and the baby drag to funnel for my queen, and she's just got to get the town hall here. That's her only job. As you can tell, the rest of the CC comes up. I've still got 2 invis, so I just start using it for my champ here. Bit of an annoying CC, but we get through it. And then RC's right here. I don't know if I use this invis for her. I hope I do. But anyways, the Lalo starts from the top here. And I deliberately do not send this hound over the eagle. I want the eagle to target the hound and not my balloons. But yeah, we hang on to that invis. I definitely should have used it on the champ. But thankfully, this core Inferno is a single, so it's not really going to decimate our Lalo. We'd be in a bit of trouble here if it was a multi. But we get that haste down, we get the headhunters in, and these loons go into the core of the base, and even if there was a million red bombs there, the warden balloons help. Haste, freeze loons from the left side. This is trying to push the loons across the base together. We just get that scatter shot down. It was way too close there. If that scatter stays up, there is actually a very good chance we fail this, because look at how clumped our balloons are. But the scatter just goes down, which is a GG for us. As you can tell, we still have so many balloons up. So even with the Blizzard not going ideally, it can still work out for you on this base. But yeah, absolutely try and get the Blizzard into the core of the base. It is worth the Hound and the Freeze, because if you can gut the core and then do the exact same sui I do, what base is left to Lalo? As you can tell, there wasn't too much time on this, but we get the triple. Another 40 cups. Is there a base that can stop us? Okay, so this is sort of a wide box base, because it's still definitely like those box bases, but those typical ones are generally more compact, whereas this is a really wide one, and I generally struggle with these. They're just really tough, because there's nowhere that you can get great Blizzard value without probably going into a bait. Now, I mess up the freeze on the sweeper. I literally do this all the time, so there's something for me to improve on. But rather than go for insane value, because a lot of you will be like, and I'm actually going to pause it here, a lot of you will be like, Hooked, why don't you try and go here? The problem with that, right, is if I send the Hound like this, and the Blimp, that Hound will not pull a Sam if there's a Sam here and a Sam there. And what will happen is I get baited and land in this compartment where there is a million giant bombs. It's a common way to bait Blizzard there. So I'm just trying to go for less value, because there's no way that the defender wants to bait this attack. Because as you can tell here, we're not getting insane value. But what I'm going to get, I get the scatter, I get the RC. I'm trying to get this ground bow as well. Thankfully, they go back for the ground bow. Nice. And then we also get the Hound out of the CC. So look at that. We've carved out a section of the base, which really leaves a really nice funnel for our Sui. We haven't gotten any of the Infernos, but we got a Hero Scatter CC pull. I'm okay with that, as long as it can set up. And as you can tell, it's a really nice path straight to the town hall here, and that's exactly what I pictured. So all we have to do is funnel these buildings over here, including this builder hut actually, so we'll include that in it, and the baby drag and the gob the gobs do that for us. Now, king and queen, I want the king to beat this first wall. I don't need him to, but I just want to save the 2 wall breakers in case I fail a wall breaker here. So, king and queen going in, and I'm just waiting on this wall breaker till the queen takes out that bomb tower, because as you can tell, that whole compartment will be down, and the wall breaker goes exactly where I want it to. So, king and queen going really nicely into the base here. My king was still beating the wall, even though it was open, which is a bit of a lull. We freeze the town hall and the single, and we're starting the Lalo from the top, because I know I've got the town hall down here. And as you can tell, I haven't had to use the champ with that Sui, which is huge, because as you can tell, the core of this base is full of a Tesla farm, double multi, and eagle. My queen takes out the enemy queen, which was slightly unexpected. And we've got a bunch of loons and my champion going into the core. We pop the warden. Look at all those traps come up. But it doesn't matter. The headhunters go for the king, because I still haven't recognized that I took out the enemy queen. And look how many balloons are up. Yes, that was a really toxic place to start the Lalo, and it took a lot for me to get this right, but you can get through it with a really good warden ability, and as long as there's no town hall, look at that, we've only just used our champ ability, there's a million balloons up, and that is the best way I could describe to you all of blizzarding, avoiding a blizzard bait by doing a blizzard where they're not expecting it, where you still get value, set up for an insane Sui. I got the town hall and the enemy queen, and this base was super crushed. And it was at this point, more than any other point, that I knew I was having an insane day. Okay, so this is a diamond base here. Now, normally diamond bases are literally the worst thing ever for Blizz Lalo, because it's really hard to blizz the core, but on this one it's a little easier because of how compact it is. So I put an invis on that air defense, which means the hound in front of my blimp targets the air defense down the bottom, and we get a blimp into the core here, and as you can tell, there is so much value. We get these invises down. Now I'm trying to get the queen. I don't know how that invis the scatter. That was a little unfortunate. So unfortunately for me, I have to use all my invis spells to get that scatter down. I would have really wanted to save one. I don't even get this queen here. So that was pretty poor invis placement from me. You can never be perfect, but still solid value, and we've got a good chance to triple here. So we take this over to sort of 9 o'clock, and obviously what I want to do is walk my queen down for the town hall. Now, if this enemy queen wasn't up, I would probably save my king and send him into the eagle with my champion to try and get that down, or into this compartment here. But because of the enemy queen and because of these 2 air bows here, I'm not confident with no invis that my queen can get the town hall. So I bring my king, but look what happens. My king goes in, gets the queen, and actually goes up. And this is perfect, because my queen hasn't taken any damage yet from any of those point defense or the enemy queen, so I'm pretty confident she can get the town hall. I might need 1 freeze for her, who knows, but now my king and RC can go and clear out this eagle compartment. So let's watch what happens. My queen's down the bottom, I wall break for her, I use a baby drag at 6 to funnel. I pop my king on the top side in front of my royal champion. The single locks onto him, but that's fine. Queen pops on the town hall, so we don't need to watch her anymore. Her value's done. And my RC and king have helped out. Now, admittedly, my RC dies really quickly here, and I could have done a lot more to help her out. I wanted it to get her in the warden ability, but alas, you don't always get what you want. And now it's all about just freezing. As you can tell, I've got 3 freezes, and the only real threats on the base are the double air bow and the multi-scatter. Now, we lose a lot of balloons here. Really good red bombs. I just popped my warden way too early because I was trying to keep my champ alive. Didn't really work out, but we've still got enough balloons in the in backup here. All my flanking loons lived, and it's just about freezing these air bows. By the way, I haven't pointed it out yet, but this is Sammy. We just had his hits on the channel the other day, so I'm really sorry, Sammy. I did appreciate you coming on the channel, but I need that 40 cups, my friend. And this was the 320 for you guys. So you saw pretty much a wide variety of bases today. Sorry, let's go right to the end. You saw me attacking a wide variety of bases, and I hope I kind of explained to you kind of what I was thinking. Obviously, there are so many thoughts going through my head, and I don't want to overcomplicate it for you guys at this stage. Like I've said on the channel many times, though, expect a Blizz Lalo guide. Probably I'll record it this weekend, or on Monday, and expect it on the YouTube probably early next week. So you guys can kind of understand how to take out each style of base. But for now, just refer to this or the Blizz Lalo guide I've got with Rakira's already if you need some help. But let me know in the comments down below, does this style of video help you be a better player? I seriously hope it does. But that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe for the best Legends League content there is out there. And hopefully, I'll see you soon.